begin the recording. Our meetings are recorded, but when you want to speak and if you want to say something that you don't want recorded, just tell me and I'll pause it. The company also wanted to stop paying stewards for time involved in grievance procedures. The Ellis-Chalmers strike was a harbinger of things to come. Historian Martin Halpern states that company officials played a significant role in the crafting of Taft-Hartley legislation as the strike unfolded. Ellis-Chalmers was on a union busting campaign. It made no small effort to red bait union leaders for months in local newspapers. By the fall, workers at the smaller plants had returned to work, but the Milwaukee local stood firm. Area CIO workers joined picket lines in support, only to be brutalized and arrested. HUAC arrived in town to investigate the strike, and the company instigated a vigorous back-to-work campaign. After 11 months, the strike was called off with no contract, and 91 union leaders were fired. All right, so for those who are watching the recording, just go to the Chicago Transit, chicagotransitworker.com and click on Union Reformation, and that will take you to something called virtual Justice Coalition virtual meetings, and there you'll see the agenda and the study guide for today, which the 24th. And that will take you right here, what you see on screen, what I just read. So for those of you that heard what I read or read what I read, what do y'all think? What's your impression from this moment in history from April 1946?
Sorry, I just got on, Eric.
It's okay. Anybody just unmute yourself and share your thoughts.
Who's on?
Oh, got a whole bunch of people on today. Nicole, Janice, Tom, Kathy, me, Steven, I think Steven's here.
Finally, yeah.
Yay, Steve's here.
I'm gonna have to come back though, but yeah, I wanna I'm working on the lawyer, and we're gonna go after the unions, 241, 308, and the international.
Hey, Steve, let's get, if you could just, we really want you to talk just about this project that you're heading up. So, but just hang tight. We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
Anybody on this history lesson here, what kind of thoughts come to your mind after learning about this? Anybody?
I could comment on that.
Please.
Well, one thing, Milwaukee had a socialist mayor. I don't know if it was at that time. It may have been, but in any case, they did. And there were lots of strikes in the 40s. And that's where we won a lot of stuff that the unions have been given back, like pensions and healthcare and a lot of stuff. So, yeah.
And you know, another thing that came to mind is how Local 248 was active in issues that didn't directly affect the workplace. Right. So for housing desegregation, right? So that means that basically landlord can choose to not rent to me because of the color of my skin, you know?
Right.
These types of things were pretty much they were legal. and I think we take these things for granted. You know, I've traveled to a country in Europe called Sweden, and there's a lot of non-white Swedes there, and they have no such thing. So, you know, the segregation there is blatant. I mean, the discrimination and the segregation is blatant because it's they're in the Stone Age basically when it comes to that thing as far as it being illegal. And you know, even though 248 seemed to have a failure with in 1946 or 1947, right after 11 months, the strike was called off. But 11 months of striking, what this goes to show that striking is part of the battle. So you're gonna take losses. I mean, 91 union leaders were fired. That's a lot. so we have to know in this fight, in this struggle, that we're gonna take some losses. And the reality isn't pleasant. But what are we gonna do? We're just gonna lay down and just go along with this destruction of our you know, our dignity and our working conditions, you know. So, and of course there's a lot more to this, I'm sure, in the background that we don't know about. Any other thoughts on this particular issue, and then we'll move on to the organizing lesson. Just unmute yourself if you want to speak. Okay. All
Hey,
right.
wait a minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought of something else. And that is, we're never taught this stuff in school, or, you know, through movies or through our culture or through the doggone union. We're never taught about these strikes. And that really hurts us. And it hurts all the workers because, you know, these things show that people can fight back, and people did fight back, and they stuck together. And now I'll stop.
Oh, that's great. Thanks for bringing that up. I noticed that too, is that even recent history isn't discussed, right? And it's kind of like, well, we'll just vote in a new administration and we'll see what happens. You know, it's just so cynical and useless. You know, it just doesn't, there's no connection between the past and the present, it seems, in our locals. You know, it's kind of like, well, I'm going to do this, elect me, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And we're like, wait a minute, did we already do this? And why didn't it work? And what can we do? But it's kind of like we are now, and this was the end, you know, 1946 was kind of the end of revolutionary unionism as being the, what do you call, the mainstream, you know, because when the AFL-CIO merged and all these, this red baiting went on. I mean, you might not have even been a communist, but they would label you as a communist just because you would fight and speak up and organize your coworkers. And the other thing too about communism is, as far as in the United States, communists and socialists and Marxists is almost every one of the uprisings from the late 1800s on up were influenced or inspired by some people somewhere who were affiliated with these different groups. So we're made brainwashed to fear anything that's Marxist, communist, socialist, and it's very much like Islamophobia. We're taught ever since 9/11 to fear and hate Muslims and Islam and Prophet Muhammad and all these things, you know. And all we got to do is read for ourselves and share, and then we begin to see that it's not that. Okay, let's jump to the organizing lesson. So at the in-person meeting last week, we talked about, we had lesson 9, lesson 2, number 9, about 2 ears, 1 mouth. It's all about listening. And I just wanted to review that. If in the agenda, you can actually access this and read it later. but there's a couple things and tips of how to be a good listener. Avoid distractions, okay? Make sure you look the person in the eye, put your phone away. Slow down. Sometimes we speak a little faster than just trying to get everything out. And then we end up interrupting people, and we have to resist this and just let people talk. That leads to don't interrupt. Keep an open mind. Don't assume you already know what that person cares about, okay? Let people surprise you. Let them guide the discussion. Practice empathy. Sometimes people need to let off steam. Don't discourage them. Your task is to hear what they have to say, not to judge, okay? So everyone here in this call, we are leaders, right? We are unelected, right? But we have to influence and help our coworkers realize their potential. And the worst thing you can do is tell them, well, be happy you have a job. You can't tell the company what to do. Well, we already tried that. It doesn't work. And blah, blah, all these things, listen. And that leads to this: show that you hear what they're saying. To tell them, so do you mean this? Do you mean that? Because you actually may not understand what they just said, right? So before you react, ask them. Find common ground, all right? You don't have to agree with every point, but find the areas of agreement and acknowledge where you differ. And we had a perfect instance of this at our in-person meeting, right? We had a discussion about the vaccine mandate, right? And we had some points of disagreement. But what did we boil it down to? We all agreed, despite our disagreements, that it is wrong, it is immoral, it is unethical to fire people, fire coworkers who are not vaccinated. We all agreed on that. And we left on that level, on that accord. Don't feel that you need to sell something. An organizer is not a salesperson. You're genuinely looking to learn the other person's point of view and create something together. That's how this thing works. That's how the union works. When you got these union officers and they come say, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And this is what I think, and this is what I got. And we're gonna do this, and we gotta be on one accord. Shut up, obey, hut ho. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Because first of all, no one likes to be bossed around. Second, the union is a democracy. That means the people run it. So that means the people have to debate the issues, and they got to come up with solutions together. So let's jump into number 9. Sorry, the pages are a little out of order when I scanned them. Yeah, should be number 9. Sorry about this. Any comments about what I just said? Anybody? Just unmute yourself. No, where am I? Okay. Oh, I had it. Sorry. Okay, 9, that was 9:10. It all starts with respect. Sorry, I just kept going past it. So when the relationships are tight, everyone feels safer and it's easier to take risks. When you have self-respect, it means you won't put up with bullying or exploitation. When you respect your coworkers, it means that you value their experience and they have something important to add to the plan for solving problems at work. You just can't declare respect. It's built by forming personal relationships, the kind where you have each other's backs, like Bess Watts did by getting to know those blue-collar union guys in Rochester, drinking beer together and walking their picket lines. It doesn't happen overnight. Why do we have to make it personal? Because organizing is scary for most people. At times, I got a lot of windows here, sorry. At times, even ourselves. No one wants to get in trouble for rocking the boat. The most effective way to address that fear is to link people together. When the relationships are tight, everyone feels safer and it's easier to take risks. Superficial connections won't withstand management's pressure tactics. And you'll see this, and those of you that have been part of you know, our protests. You see that, you feel more confident every time we go out, every time we do stuff, every time we do things together, you feel a little more brave, a little more confident. It's not because someone's telling you to do it. We need to be on one accord. Everyone needs to support the union. Don't be so divisive. You know, all that stuff is just not in one ear and out the other, but it's when we do things together, it builds up respect and confidence. Kay Eisenhower was a founding mother of the Service Employees Local in Alameda County, California. She recalls one of my favorite examples from the hospital was when the clerks got together to create a break space out of a deserted nurse station. We cleaned out the refuse, brought plants and kitchen stuff from home. We carved out our own little space. It was a space where the connections were reinforced every day, and more important, because the clerks had made it themselves. And we see that sometimes with the customer assistants. They'll set up, they'll make their booth, they'll pretty up the booth, maybe put a little decoration. You'll see, like in my shop at Howard, we got a steward, and he buys snacks, and he puts them in a cabinet, and people get them on the honor system, you know? It's got no cash register. He's basically just put the money and give him the money, take what you want. If he's off duty, he leaves it unlocked. You know, he even got a refrigerator. You know, we can do these little things make a big difference. So there's a lot more here, but I just wanted to stop on that for now, or we could go to the next page. Any discussion, any ideas, anything that comes to your mind about what I just read, please unmute yourself. Okay. We'll continue with should we continue with this one or right now or do this part next week? Anybody?
You should ask everybody how they feel about what you said. I mean, what do you think?
Yes, I did do that. Now do it again.
It's too quiet.
What y'all think? Thank you. I'll turn up the volume. You're out of order.
If it's 10 people on the line, I'm sure they got some type of thoughts.
Well, what about you? What about you, brother Andre? I know you got some thoughts about this.
I'm still trying to figure out my situation. Wait a minute. Let me see.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think that's I got it now, Eric.
Okay.
I think a lot of the stuff you said is correct. I think that, you know, we need to talk to each other and co-workers about this type of thing, because guess what? This type of thing scares these bullies. That's what they are. You know, these union officials, they ain't nothing but bullies and control freaks. You know, they don't want to represent us as a whole. They want loyalty and they want servants. They don't want you to have your own ideas. And ideas really supposed to be, your idea is supposed to be as a whole, and they're supposed to listen and embrace what you say. But instead, if you got anything that's worth talking about, they want to ignore you. And, you know, the president want to bully you, both of them. It's sad. And we just got to push back from this kind of behavior. It's despicable.
Yes, you say that, and it's personal relationships, and it's like these officers, so many of them, they resent us. They don't want personal relationships. They just want to tell us what to do, you know, obey, shut up and obey. And, you know, it's like,
Can I ask a question?
I remember Eric Dixon, I said to President Dixon, and I said, hey man, why, you know, it's good when you show up. You got to show up. The officers should show up to different places where we work. And he said, well, I went to Howard and there were only 4 people there. You know, I'm like, well, what? Those 4 people are dirt? I mean, it's just sad. Okay, we got a hand up here. Kathy, go ahead.
Okay, I'll be brief because I heard somebody else's voice a minute ago. But I think we do need to talk about ideas, and because we don't as much as we should at work. I mean, I know when I was at work, we used to have some giant debates in the switching shanty about politics and the union. And So we do talk about ideas. I don't know what I'm saying, but we need to do it more. And people need to understand that debate and disagreement, that's how we finally arrive at the truth. We have to struggle through these ideas. And it's so good, Eric, that you keep on stressing that even though we have disagreements, we have agreement. And Cheryl kind of says that too. Everybody has their own perspective. But eventually, it's going to boil down to something is the truth. One of these groups of ideas is more true than the others. So, and they don't want us to discuss stuff. The union doesn't want us to. The politicians don't want us to. The bosses don't want us to. They want us just to watch Jerry Springer or some bullshit. Okay, so now I'm done.
Thank you. Sharon, go ahead. You got your hand up.
Yeah, I want to ask a, I guess it's redundant question. Why are we still paying union dues, knowing that the union don't listen to us? They only do what they want to do. You know, they don't even give us good advice to fight against CTA. So my question is, why are we still paying union dues? And not to mention, with all this information that we have in our coalition, we can, you know, protect ourselves. We can give ourselves information on how not to get railroaded by CTA and, you know, get in trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Great question. Anyone want to answer? Sharon, why are we paying?
answer that.
Like we don't even. It's like we don't even have a union, basically.
I'll answer
We're
that.
on our own.
Eric, can I answer that?
Andre, come on, tell us what you think. Give us an answer.
Well, this is the thing. I think we should continue to pay union dues because you saying why do we even pay union dues? Because we need the structure. You know, it's set up for the structure to do what it's supposed to do. We need the structure. And the problem
but we're
is
giving ourselves this. We're doing it ourselves. They're not doing anything for us.
So we have to deal with them accordingly. But just pretend like we erased them and then one of us get in. Somebody
But
that's
they're
right.
not doing anything for us, Andre. They're not doing anything. So we paying $75
And
for
they're not going to do anything for you. That's why you have to do it
So
for
why
yourself.
pay?
But the union,
Why
you
pay?
still need the structure because you need the structure. You need the structure. You need the structure to be able to run. You know, if you put yourself out, you'll still be a union member, but you won't be able to run. You won't be able to vote. We need the people that's good to reform. We need the people that's good like ourselves. We need the people to reform. We need the people to embrace the structure, embrace the bylaws, because people like, what, the international let them do this? No, the international don't give a damn about none of this stuff. It's not the international job to watch your union. The only job it is the members. And we got to wake these members up, or we're gonna continue to have these type of crazy union officials that come in and want to just be gods and run you and take your money. It's not gonna go away, man. You know, it's just that simple. We got coworkers that's here. You can get out and not pay, but then you hurt the people. We got to look out for everybody, because if we take you away, now you can't run and your goodness can't shine. And if you ever get elected, you can bring people in. We haven't had one union official that's good, that's willing to go outside the circle. So that means none of them good. I don't care how much a friend they want to be on that day. They must come and be with us. We're the people. And they must help us restructure and reform the mess that we have been in for decades. This ain't just happening. We've been in this mess for a while. It's not going to happen overnight. That's just my thought.
So you're saying that in order for us to pay the $75, we have to, I guess you can say, participate. In order for us to participate in the union. So like if one of us wanted to, like, I guess, run for, executive office or something like that. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you need to be able to
So we can't
participate if you're going to make a change. Because if you take yourself out, they really win. And then you have your brothers and sisters that will lose, because if the union is diminished, then it would eventually go away. It eventually suffer. It's just that simple, in my opinion.
Can I make a statement?
Go ahead.
Okay. I feel, as far as I can understand Sharon and I understand Andre, but the thing is, we do need to be where we can empower more people. We can't do that if we're not part of the union. The union is not bad. It's the union leadership that is all the way to the left. Once we come in, and nobody has ever challenged anybody. So how many officers do we have that didn't have anybody running against them? That's the thing. They had Denise Price there for years and years and years because nobody ran against her. So like now, with us, Sharon, with us being here, we have to take the stand and then go and run against these people. When we run against them, we can show the difference. And we don't have to stand for what we've been taking for these last 8.5 freaking years. So, everything, as long as you have a voice, if you're not in the union, you do not have a voice. It's not heard. We really don't, you don't hear it now, but they will hear it. They're going to hear it from the coalition because we're tired of being tired. And that makes a difference, and you have to get to that point.
And they see you.
A lot of things that's been going on. Go ahead, babe.
And they see you, Willette. They see you. And if they continue to see you, they're going to start understanding you're in the room just like you are now. They starting to see you because you go to those union meetings now, and the people are in those union meetings, 30 or 40 people, they see you. And guess what? When you put your name on the ballot, now you have 3,000 members that's going to see your name on the ballot. Even if you lose, they know you took a step. And you can always come back from that first step and take a second step. Between the first step and the second step, you're going to be fighting like hell after you lose the election with your name being Willette. And you the one that took that step. And I'm sure that'll encourage other members that's looking at you on the sideline, in my belief.
Makes a difference.
Thank you. And by the way, we mentioned this at the in-person meeting. We are at the Justice Coalition. We are aggressively trying to create a slate of candidates. Everybody, you do not need to have some kind of qualifications to run for office, except certain bylaws, at least for 308, where you need so many meetings. But other than that, there's nothing. Okay, there's nothing. And if you think you have to have years of experience at the CTA, working in various jobs and all that stuff, look at the condition we're in now. And we have had plenty of people that are basically near retirement in these offices, and they're ruining everything we have. So it has nothing to do with how many jobs you held, how many years you got. So when you go to ChicagoTransitWorker.com, you go to Union Reformation, and I want you to all of you who are listening to this, all of you who are in the group, when you're done with this meeting, we want you to scroll all the way down to candidate survey and fill that out. We need to build a slate. Okay, we got some hands up. We got Nicole, Vicky, Kathy also put something in the chat. She said, unions have the legal rights that we need. As much as I have no respect for the court system, those laws do help us. So thank you, Sister Kathy. Nicole, and then Vicky. Go ahead, Nicole.
Oh, good morning, guys. Oh, good afternoon. Jeez. Okay, good afternoon. Well, I just wanted to piggyback on what all you guys are saying. And I just want to elaborate why I stay in the union. I know the $75 is a costly amount for what we're getting right now. But, as you all know, Keith Hill assaulted me. And at that time, before I got assaulted, I never really cared about, my union dues. But then when I never cared, I didn't care what they do or when they did or how they did. I just paid and I was part of a union. But now I have a voice. And my voice is being heard. And that's the reason why I keep continuing to pay my union dues. Because I have but they have to respect. If they don't do anything, now I don't know about everybody, but they respect me. My voice has been heard so well that they are respecting me. If they do nothing else, they respect me. And that's one of the biggest reasons. I think change is coming. It's slow paced. And I think that the little $75 is a small price to pay was coming for the future. I mean, I know it's kind of hard to look at what we get now, but just proof is us being here today in our own meetings. We're not paying anything to be in these meetings, but we're solving problems. We're helping other members out. The coalition is growing. We're getting more knowledgeable. So that means that our future is very bright. So that's just why I think if we could keep the faith, it may come to one day, like we might just say, let's stop paying union dues let's all opt out the union. Not that they can do anything. They still have to represent us, but that's just to get the international to do something about what's going on if our future is not as bright as we hope it. But that's why I pay union dues.
All right, and thank you. And we got Vicky. Go ahead, Vicky. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Eric, for inviting me, sending me
Hey,
the
Vicky,
link.
how you doing? How you been hanging? DeSandre.
I'm still living. I'm still got the fight in me, even though I'm not with. I'm still a member. I have a grievance
That's right.
in I've been with a member of 241 since 2004 up until the day when they assassinated my character, because I did have a voice. And just to talk to encourage you guys, when we got got laid off in 2010, but I had been fighting ever since 2006, when with the health care trust had came about and all of that. I was coming to the meeting, just trying to get to understand, because this was my first job as being a union paying due and a member of an organization, and also working with the company. And so when we finally got laid off, when we did get laid off in 2010, I started really learning a lot about union and how we really do need union. And like one of the callers said, it's not the union organization, it's the bad people that are running the organization. And just to mind you, they let you know, once you get a voice, watch out. Because the union, the bad organization, the people that work in who supposed to be working for representing us, they go along with the company. And like what happened to me, I got terminated for something so stupid, and it's ridiculous. And by me being out, I found out a lot that I was assassinated, and I was standing up with the company because my voice was being heard. And I would go directly to the workers, to our members. I would talk to the members. A lot of people know me because I used to always let them know that you do have a choice. You do have a right. And education, knowledge is the key. And I will always tell my coworkers, look, you guys get the knowledge, get the education. I will show them. You have to show them. And because I wanted unity. And when I got laid off in 2010 and we came back in 2011, I continue to fight on. We started an organization, the laid off workers, with Jesse over at Jesse Push Coalition, Jesse Jackson. They helped us, and then when I got back to work, a lot of other members, they fell off. They stopped going and fight. But I realized that the fight is you still got to fight. Even though I'm out now, I'm still fighting. I did a lot of fighting, standing up for myself. I tell people to some people came and they helped out and look at me, but I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I'm out, but I will be back in. It's just a matter of time. But I still fight, and I still encourage you guys to keep your voice. Talk to the members. We will win. It's going to take a minute, but we will win.
Thank you. And yeah, thank you, sister, for coming in. And I wanted to tell everyone, we have got to do more protests about unjustly fired coworkers. We did one at Chicago Avenue Garage, but we need to do more. More members need to speak up. We need to protest. because Local 241 has a backlog. Nicole, what, 1,700? No, 1,100 grievances.
No, it's over 2,000, Eric. It's a backlog.
It's
And
over
they
2,000, and they use this. This tyrant, Keith Hill, and the vice presidents. They're taking people's lives in their grievances, in their livelihood, and they're holding it in their hands to try to get favors from them.
Yeah, and they also, you know, they call themselves, you know, it's been brought to their attention that the Justice Coalition is paying attention to what they're doing with those 2,000 grievances. It's been brought to their attention. So they call themselves trying to resolve some, but always read what they do, because Local 241, they're settling grievances to people who've been retired 10 to 15 years. You have to pay attention. If you're reading, is definitely key to busting a union, because they don't read. They like CTA, they reactive instead of proactive. So the Justice Coalition, we're working on things to I don't know, get the information out here that they're not filing our grievance correctly and representing our members correctly. That's something we're working on as a whole. So
And we need
it's all about favors.
We ain't got no favors, Dre.
I'm just saying we don't have no favors, but the ones that like a person have been fighting and come back way before Vicky, they get the favors, and they have to be loyal after they get that favor. And that's what
hopefully
works on.
Loyalty. Well, hopefully we're gonna get to the bottom of those favors that he's been giving out.
Yeah, that's
definitely something I'm working on.
Thank you. And we got Tom with his go ahead, Tom. Unmute yourself. Got your hand. Maybe you didn't mean to do that. Oh, man. All right, Tom. Try it now. No, you're still muted. Well, you know what, Tom? Maybe you didn't mean to do that. If so, just speak up. No problem. Andre will remind us to speak up. Okay, so one other thing I wanted to add to that, and that is, here's something that wasn't mentioned. Why pay union dues? We have an obligation to make those who work for us through our dues to be accountable. And we have no say, no voice, no ability lawfully to do that if we don't pay the dues. Now, we have part-timers living in poverty. They should not be paying the full dues. And that's something that others have worked on, we've worked on, we continue to try to keep putting out there to encourage people to change in the bylaws. But when you go to a union meeting and the secretary or the president or the vice president says, I motion that we spend such and such amount of money for a trip to such and such for such and such. You have the right to tell them, no, you're not going to spend our money on your golf trips, your sports, your charities with organizations that really have no effect on what happens in our working conditions. These kinds of things you have to be in the meeting for. And it's very frustrating, because if you're in the meeting, but you're not paying dues, you can't vote. Your vote has no say. And in the August meeting, the members of Local 308 completely overrided the will of the leadership by setting up stages for a strike vote. Yes. And these crooks tried to insult and intimidate the members to try to get the vote to change, and they couldn't do it. These sellouts. So what Eric Dixon did with Keith Hill, with all the pressure they're getting, is they canceled membership meetings. So in the October meeting, there was supposed to be a call for a strike vote at Local 308. This is public now, because it's water under the river. It water under the bridge. It ain't gonna happen at this stage because of what they did. Okay, but they had to unlawfully do this, and it's like, well, why even do anything if they're just gonna do stuff? Well, that's why we got to stay in. We got to stay active. We have to push. And by the way, I wasn't the one that brought that up. Okay, so any of y'all that want to say Brother Eric is leading the strike, man, no. Now, certainly I did cast a vote, but it was not my motion. Anyway, let's move on. Unless someone has something to add, I'd like to move on to the next point in the agenda.
Yeah, I do. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
You said, well, we're working on, we constantly trying to work on reducing the dues for part-time members. I think we should switch that to make sure we work on everybody being full-time, so we don't have to worry about this type of poverty that the part-time members go through and the struggles that they go through. We need to continue to fight for full-time jobs at all levels.
Yeah, Brother Andre, you're right. And the coalition, this is all we push is full-time jobs for all. And in fact, you shouldn't even be paying union dues while you're on probation. That's another ridiculous thing. As long as we have that in the contract where the grievance arbitration process is moot while you're on probation, you should not be paying union dues. But yes, full-time jobs for all. And that leads to the workers' contract. That's also at chicagotransitworkers.com. And we are making our own contract. Y'all should look at it. It's open, it's public. You can contribute to it as a worker, as a retiree, as an active worker, whatever it is. You can review this, and we have a very good system of making sure people can debate these things, and we'll put it in our contract. And we do have that in the workers' contract, full-time jobs for all. Check out Article 3.6. And we have what's called the Combined Rail Operator 2 regarding this whole fiasco of having to be a CSA and then a flagman and part-time forever in order to go full-time as an operator. Next point. Okay, ChicagoTransitWorker.com showed you that website. Did you know we also have a YouTube channel? Check it out. So when you go to ChicagoTransitWorker.com, there's a YouTube button. You take that, hit that button, and it'll take you to our channel. We have pretty much all these meetings that you see here are going up there. There's other things that we have. Spread the word. We have so much information here to help you learn how to fight for yourself, help your coworkers fight, organize. It's more than enough just right there. Also, we have the Facebook, the public Facebook page. So many of y'all are familiar with that. I see a hand up. Andre, go ahead.
Somebody just texted me and said that Keith is having a Facebook Live, because this lets you know that he under pressure for the things that we do. He having a Facebook Live right now at the same time that we have our meeting, and he's ranting, because he want to keep his people in his pocket. He want to keep the zombies and the supporters and make sure they don't never go nowhere else. So he got to kind of react to the things we do. And so that's what's going on, people. And I'm sure some of us may hear about the rant that he's doing this right now.
He's very insecure. Bill, Deborah Lane, all of them have extreme insecurity complexes, and it's a flaw that we exploit, and we enjoy exploiting it because they're just crooked as hell. And Hill spent his last Facebook Live. It was so out of control. He had to shut it off and delete it because people were coming after him. They were so pissed off. Go ahead, Nicole.
Oh yeah, well, no one really cares about his Facebook Live. No one learns anything there. It's just it's like a out of control bunch of kids arguing back and forth, and the officers looking stupid. At least here at the Justice Correlation, we all can get along, we can respect each other, and we can learn something. So I'd rather be here than even watching or hearing about his Facebook Lives.
I'll just let you know how the pressure that we put on this brother from the things that we're doing as a group.
Oh no, I appreciate that, Andre, but he's so irrelevant. I mean, he's not a factor. He's the president. He's not even a factor. Here we are having this nice meeting, learning things, respecting one another as one should be in a union. And there he's having a match because it's going to be somebody who's just as unhappy with him as us on his Facebook Live, giving him the same problems that he always has, and he's going to have to shut it down. So here we are. We're going to continue. We always go over our meetings because we get good stuff here. We get educated, friendly conversation. What more could you want on a Sunday afternoon?
And we also have entertainment. You're out of order.
You're out of order. You're out of order.
Out of order. You're out of order. Okay. Tom. Go ahead, brother.
Good afternoon.
Hey, brother.
Hey, Tom.
Good to have you.
Yeah, you were talking about the Facebook Live. Somebody has sent me a message that he's complaining that his Facebook Live is getting leaked out.
Oh my God. He want people to shut up.
And I'm like, well, we're
Shut
all
up, you're out of order, Tom. You're out of order.
we're all dues paying members. Why are we not entitled to these Facebook Lives since he is the president?
You need to make a post about that.
I will.
And that's our dilemma here, right? Is that we have leadership that is so scared of us that they have to have, and they're scared of anybody.
And I actually put a complaint in with the International about that 6 months ago, and I'm still waiting to hear back from them.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone who's complaining. Keep up your complaints to the ATU International, Office of the President at ATU.org, Office of the President at ATU.org. Please, Local 241 members, especially you, let the international president know that President Hill has exclusive content that he discriminates against members that he doesn't like in order for them to access. It's really sad. Go ahead, Nicole.
Oh, well, I don't have nothing but time, so I guess I'll put in a labor relations complaint about him having these meetings, not allowing, violating dues paying members, not access to knowing what's going on with the union after he cancels the union meeting. So I'll be putting that in tomorrow because, since if you can't beat him, join him. Hey, we'll have them spend some of our money so he can answer why we can't be in his exclusive meetings. So that's what I'll do for all of us tomorrow.
Yeah. And Eric Dixon had a Zoom exclusive call and he wouldn't record it. So those of us that were working, we couldn't access it. A bunch of nonsense. Okay. So, we got Tom. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to say about Nicole. He'll tell people that we're causing division because we're filing these complaints, and then he'll blame us why the union is spending money, but we haven't seen a financial statement in over a year. And now I found out that he's sending members to the labor class for, I think it's DePaul or something. And we did not vote on that. In the bylaw state, everything over $500 must be voted on by the membership. So there's no control of this union here.
Yeah.
Well, hey Tom. Well, since he's doing that with our money without our permission, me and you can team up together and we can file another labor relations complaint and spend our money the way we want to spend it. Hey, who cares what the members say? They do what they want, and if they allow them to spend our money the way they want, then they should not say nothing about how we spend our money for answers and respect. So, Tom, hit me up after the meeting. We'll write 2 labor relations complaints and cost our union some more money, and have Hill answer to that, and then we'll post them around the garage when we get the findings. What do you think?
It's just he's pitting members against members by these labor charges.
Well, he can pit them against them. I'll tell them all. You don't say nothing.
You got it right,
he
though.
does with the money. We have every right.
Here's the thing, and I want everyone who's listening.
Then I want to ask, why is he using the union lawyers to defend these charges?
Oh, well, if that's the case, you got something else. You know what? That's another labor relation point, because guess what? All of them, Woodrow, Toy Bowers, Keith Hill, are using the members' money for personal cases. I, for one, has one I can put out myself. And I had the union attorney threw off the case. The judge said it was illegal for the union to use the union attorney to fight their personal cases. I have that in a court docket.
Yep. And it's, I think, when with everybody doing little things here and there, different things at different places, what we do when we do this is it's very much like guerrilla warfare. What we do is we distract and we annoy. If everybody does something that they're able to do, that they feel like doing, that moves us forward towards the same direction, and that is where the members get to take control of the union. That's what we want. So for some of you listening, doing a labor charge is not interesting to you, but maybe posting something online or emailing your union officers, your union board members, letting them know, I don't approve of this. When you see them on so-called discipline day, let them know what the heck is going on with the union meetings, what the heck is going on with this and what's going on with that. Everything you do can make a difference. So I would like to say that the best way, the most efficient way for us to reform our unions is for us to do what the leadership refuses to do. And that is educate each other, help each other, care for each other, fight for each other, and meet together and discuss and help solve each other's problems. This is what they won't do. This is what they can't do, because they know if they start doing that, that will upset our employer and the politicians. And they are very, very scared about upsetting our employer and politicians. We have a hand up. Janice, go ahead. Or maybe you didn't mean to put your hand up. Okay. Janice, you're on mute. Okay.
I'm sorry, Eric. Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey there.
The issue is that the Justice Coalition is transparent. 308 leaders and 241, they're not. When we say something, we can show you the proof is in the pudding. They cannot. And that's the difference. So when you cannot show a person, you'll say, oh, I'll have a meeting later, or we'll post it later, and later never comes. All of us have to keep them on their toes, ask the questions that we need to ask, and then demand that they show us the proof in writing, and not let them get away with what they're doing, what they continue to do. It has to stop. And so that's the difference between us and them. And of course, the truth is always going to prevail. That's all I needed to say today.
Thank you. Nicole, go ahead.
Janice, you said one key word that stood out to me in your whole sentence. You said we. That's our biggest expense against them. It's us. It's us. It's just not one person running the show. It's us. And just us. We, honey, child, lovely lady, we are a force to be reckoned with. And I like that word, we. It fits us well.
We have, I want to make sure I know who's in here and everyone knows it. So the person with the phone number 0951.
Yes, that's Willette again. And I need, I want to have
that's your
something to
audio.
say.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
Did you want to say anything?
Yes, I did.
Please say anything to us.
anything to us.
Anything.
You,
Okay,
you
you just
missed
said
that,
anything.
Eric.
Call herself being, he calls herself being
You
funny.
missed that, Eric. You
Right,
missed
right,
it.
Eric. You supposed to catch that comedian.
Okay,
You
he missed
slipping.
it.
I caught it. Now it ain't funny. I'm like,
Right,
that's how corny it was.
Eric, you're out of order. You're out of order.
Out of order, Eric. Kick him out.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry.
He's
I'm
starting to lose his senses.
I'm
Get too
adjourn-
serious here.
You know what? I'm adjourned. This
Okay.
meeting is adjourned. This meeting is adjourned.
Okay, I got.
I'm
okay,
leaving.
Eric.
All right, forget this.
I'm-
It's adjourned. It's
No,
adjourned.
I'm gonna give you a pass right now because you need to jot these things down. You know, I know you're kind of sick today, but so that's okay. Okay, look, now with my points, I got like 8 little points. It's not stuff I'm not going to discuss. It's just things that I want all of us to think about. The one thing is the RHCT. Okay, with RHCT, some of us have received refunds back. They've been as low as $3 and some, and as high maybe as $10. Okay, what's that all about? Okay, another thing we got to always remember: teamwork makes the dream work. Also, we got to talk about ideas and things that matter to all of us. And debate is always healthy. It may not be what you like, may not sound like you want it to sound, but it's healthy because we get our points across. With the union leaders that we have now, they're in cliques. And that's what's happening. It's like a high school thing, you know. They're in cliques with each other. They don't like you because I'm with Eric, so they don't like me. So what? Jan is with me, so they don't like Jan. So what? The thing is, don't like us. I don't live for you to love me, believe me. Okay, and one thing someone said, knowledge is key. That's the fact. Okay, and the one thing I want us to work on also, we need to get the time back. After serving 4 years as part-timers in any company, after 10 years, you're vested. Now we're going on 9 years. And if and when they turn us over, we have to start from the beginning, from day one. And that's ridiculous. Okay, so, we need to do something about that. And we got to let the union executives know. We don't have to tell them. We can show them that they work for us and that they must work for us, And so that's the thing, because right now they feel they can just do their little click thing and everything is okay. That's 241 and 308. And once we stick together, as Jan stated, because we talk about that a lot, we stick together, believe me, we can grow. And once we grow, they can't stop us. Because there's too many of us that want to get out and see. I understood Sharon wholeheartedly because at one point, I'm a union person. And I really thought about getting out the union. I said, if this happens, with them walking people out, for the mandate, for the vaccine and all of that, I said, that's utterly ridiculous because the union can do something about that. They didn't get an injunction. They didn't ask us how we felt about it. So those are things that we're going through. So it's so many things now. They're mad with the Justice Coalition because we are getting things done. People are listening. And that's all we have to do is just keep it up. And as Nicole just said, Nick, you're right, baby. We do this thing. We move the city, So all this other stuff, what's his face? What's his name? Keith? Keith ain't driving no buses. He's not doing nothing but running his mouth and running his shoes over. That's it. That's all. Okay, that's me. I'm done.
Go ahead, Andre, and then Nicole. Andre, go ahead. Unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself.
Okay. I just want to put this on everybody's mind. I'm sure it probably is, but I want it to stay in the front of your lobe, your brain lobe. September and October meeting was canceled by local 241 Keith Hill. And then October meeting was canceled by both these crooks. And then they turn around and are going to have a rally and telling the members to have a rally. How do you do that? It's just a bunch of frauds that's doing this. And we need to just keep talking about this action that took place with this meeting, this rally, that's all fake. The people that show up, they need some head examination, to be honest, to deal with this, because you're gonna cancel out this October now. And the rallies, the first, this is just a scam. And people need to, all the members need to talk and be mad about this. This is totally, totally despicable. And everybody online, make sure you go down there and get your t-shirt. It's yours. That's it.
And burn those
Burn the t-shirts. Let's have a t-shirt burning.
No,
know
let's
about that.
everybody at the Justice Coalition get them and wear them in one of our in-person meetings and take pictures.
Yeah, we
But-
can wear it. We can wear it when we
Right.
get together or something.
Right, when we get together, get everybody
Take
one we
pictures.
wear and take pictures.
Yep. Show the
Um,
people that you in the union. Show the members that the members are the
Well,
union, not Keith,
Also,
not
right,
Eric.
also, I want to put something else on 241. I don't know about 308 back, but not just Keith Hill and the officers, those executive board members, those union stewards, hold them accountable too, because they're voting to cancel these meetings with no just cause. So when it's time for election, remember them too. Don't just
Yep.
use them officers, because I hold them all accountable. Every one of them.
So we got it. It's the same in 308, sis. I'm in the shop. I'm a repairman. Our executive board member told me in our last conversation, he said, don't you call me ever again unless you need representation in a discipline hearing, or I'm going to file harassment charges on you. So
Wow.
I said, okay. So I don't call him. I don't email him. I go directly to the president, you know, and I don't need that stuff on my record. I don't need no harassment charges. You know what I mean? I only called the man twice. I only emailed him twice.
But it's his job, brother Aaron.
Yeah,
So
I know.
that means he don't need his job.
But
so
what
we'll remember that.
My point of saying that is we have the same problem in 308.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're all the same. None of them are speaking up in our behalf. They are a gang. Okay, they are a posse. Okay, and they all cover for each other. And when I was in the steward class, I'm in the steward class. I'm a steward at 308. That's what they said. You gotta speak up and defend each other, and because the members are this and that. I was like, what the hell is this? You know, we're like adversaries with the membership. You know, and I just rejected all of that brainwashing. But you know, let's move on to we're gonna skip the introductions because I kind of skipped it on. I'm sorry, but real quick, I'm Eric Basir. I'm a rail car repairman, union steward at Local 308, and this is not a Local 308 meeting. But when you speak, you know, just introduce yourself when you speak. The CTA budget proposals are out. Go to the Transit Chicago website. Look at it. Brother Chuck Miner, he's on the 241 side, a bus supervisor, and he has been encouraging people to read this kind of thing and understand what's going on with the numbers, you know. And I wanted to add that, you know, we have to be careful about what we read and what they give us in these numbers, because often the numbers are used to manipulate our minds and make us think there is no money for us, because that's what a lot of the union officers say. They say, well, we can't fight for full-time jobs. We can't do this, we can't do that because there's no money. There's no money. We can't fight for hazard pay. You know, Deborah Lane, our secretary, went around the shops in the terminals telling us there's no money for hazard pay. That we're in this together, you know, and blah, blah, blah. There's money. The money is there. These billionaire bloodsuckers run these corporations who live off of the infrastructure we provide for the jobs. You know, the money is there, okay? But we have to fight for it. That's the problem that they have. They don't want to fight. They don't want to organize, that kind of thing. The contract progress. What the hell's going on with our contract? People always ask me, what's going on with the contract? We don't know. Unfortunately, they're not telling us. I want to let y'all know I have been emailing and texting President Dixon, asking him these questions. I've also for Local 308, we are overdue for a financial audit. Conveniently, by canceling the October meeting, the secretary does not have to share it with us. That was the date we were finally supposed to get it at the October meeting. So we are overdue. They're doing something with the money. I've contacted the secretary, Deborah Lane. I've emailed her. She's ignoring me. I'm going to step it up, keep emailing, keep calling. She also is trying to put some kind of charges on me for something. I don't know, whatever. But if I have to, I'm going to the union office again in person to show up at an undisclosed time to demand information from them. What is going on November 1st? November 1st, Local 308 is going to have a CTA approved rally protest at CTA headquarters at 1:30 p.m. In Local 241, Keith Hill, he's like, yeah, we're going to get on this. And now he's saying, we're going to do this. They're going to be there too. He made this hideous flyer. But what's going on, right? They cancel our meetings. They cancel the membership meetings. They cancel the contract proposal meetings. But then they're going to tell us, let's all meet outside and protest what? Contract issues, mandate, vaccine mandate. But what? You've already given that decision to the arbitrator. You never gave it to us. What are we protesting? You know, this is a fake rally. You can call the union offices. Let me tell you why it's fake. It's because you can get, the CTA will let you be off to go. Why would your employer approve you being off work to go protest against them? Come on, y'all, wake up. This is a scam. They're gonna do this to soften us up. They're softening us up to get ready to force this concessionary contract down our throats. It's going to be more perpetual part-time jobs, more crap with the benefits. It's going to be crap, 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 poopy, 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 stinky, stinky, stinky. And that's what they're going to try to shove down our throats. They're softening you up, making you think that this protest is them fighting for you. And they're not. They've already approved this thing. They're just getting ready for the right moment. We got hands, we got people speaking. I heard someone say something.
That was me, Eric. November the 1st. That's a key date. November the 1st is the same date that the mandate.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. And I'm going to pause the recording for a second. Something I heard, a rumor. So yeah, that's the deadline, y'all. And they're going to put a lot of people out of service, and this is wrong, okay? And we have to speak up about this. I don't know, if you go to the November 1st protest, bring a sign about what you believe, because they're going to want to give you signs and tell you what to protest about. They're going to want to tell you what to think, tell you what to say. You speak your mind. If you're off the clock, you could speak whatever you could speak about. Jesus is coming tomorrow on the number, on the N9 bus, and be ready for him. If that's what you want to post, you have a right to put that on a poster, okay? But don't let these union officers control what you think and control what you say and control what you believe. Nicole, go ahead.
Yeah, two things. One about Eric is not a protest, it's a rally. This is a big difference. Well, now we're rallying. A protest is when we disagree with something and we want to fight. We want them to be heard about, our issues. A rally is something that Eric Dixon and Keith Hill put together to show that they kiss CTA's ass. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Kiss their butts. Second of all, I like every person, every member of 308 and 241 to pay attention to this. In the proposed contract proposals that Keith Hill and I believe Eric Dixon put out, there was nothing about hazard pay in those proposals. I think we touched this on in-person meeting. But how did all of a sudden, they know how much hazard pay or whatever they want to call it, we're going to get. So pay attention to that. How are we getting hazard pay? It's not even proposed by any one of the union presidents. Everything's proposed is a bunch of stuff. They got something about, we're going to propose for a new uniform vendor. We already got one. So pay attention. Read what they say. Keith Hill's right now on his live trying to push his agenda. But what is his agenda? He don't have one. Anything in those proposals is already been done. His fake rally should be a protest because words matter, especially to members like ourselves. They matter. Fight for something or don't stand for anything, and that's what they do. We have to just take that in consideration.
Thank you. And at chicagotransitworker.com, near the top, we have a couple narrow buttons, and one of them is view the official CTA ATU contract proposals. There is something in there about hazard pay. It's a $10,000 amount, but it's crazy because, not crazy, it's deceptive because that so-called hazard pay is actually ours already. It should not be something linked with our contract, right? Yes, we should have hazard pay and pandemic protocols in the contract, which, by the way, the workers' contract does have that. Check it out.
Of course it does, Eric. But Local 241 for labor proposals does not have anything about hazard pay.
Okay, so but check it out, y'all, because you know they work together and everything is on the sly and sneaky, you know. But yeah, they're gonna try to they're gonna use this hazard pay to bribe us to vote for this contract. Go ahead, Vicky.
As I've been saying all the time, they are agents of deception. They deceive the membership. They're not working in the best interest for the membership. They working in the agenda for the company and the best interest for their pocket. They are deceptive people. Them are no good people, and the membership is losing. We the one is losing. That's why you have to, like she said, keep reading, sign out, but you got to get it to the membership some kind of way. They ask got to be open because people are asleep, and if you don't attack them, I feel sorry. I mean, they get their agenda. I'm gonna tell you right now, CTA get their agenda across. And they need the deception of agents of deception. They need them to get their agenda across. So
Thank you.
Remember, you gotta wake up. You gotta wake up and fight back, stand up and fight, and let them know that we are woke and not on my watch. You're not gonna do this to me. You gotta go strong. You gotta fight. You gotta fight the good fight. You cannot lay down when they come back, because he's just a copycatter. I'm hearing they saying he got a Facebook Live. He's a copycatter. He got to make himself look. I don't even like saying their names or whatever. They copycat. They not leadership. The devil only he copycats of God. If y'all understand that, he's a copycatter. So he got to make himself look good for the people, so he can have the people to follow him. So
thank you.
I just gotta wake up. You're welcome.
Thank you for waking us up, reminding us, and we have to make this, whatever action we do, we've got to make sure that these grievances, these people be brought to work. Got so many people that have been screwed over. We're almost done here, and then I want to get to Brother Steve. He's got a very important project that he's working on, and I want you to hear about. The hour of power, we need to close this out. We have the location. The next hour of power protest is going to be at Harlem and Lake Terminal. We do have, what's nice about that terminal is we get members from local 308 and 241 to be through there. Right now, with this poll, we have only 2 responses for the time. So we need to decide a time. And it's Saturday, December 11th, Saturday, January 22nd, or Saturday, February 12th. Okay. So go look at your agenda, or go to the page, the Facebook page, or go to the Justice Coalition website. We have the poll in the Justice Coalition website. And please, we've got to decide on what date we're going to settle on for the next protest. This will be a big one. That's our goal with the hour of power, to always make it kind of big and spend a lot of time hyping them up and promoting them. Again, the candidate forum, we need entries. We need people who are ready in the wings to replace people during interim elections and general elections. The next meeting date is going to be, we decided at the in-person meeting, we're going to do these virtual meetings every other week. So the next one is going to be not the 31st of October, but the 7th of November, okay? So we got some member initiatives, all right? So Brother Steve has been working on a project. Steve, did you want us to record this or have it on mute?
What do you mean
Eric.
record? Hello? Can you hear me?
So Steve, we record our meetings so that members can view and listen to them.
Oh, yeah, record this. No, I want this recorded.
Okay. So go ahead, Steve. The floor is yours.
Yeah, so my lawyer, I spoke with him
Make sure you
Friday.
introduce yourself for those who don't know you, please.
Oh, yeah, hi, I'm Stephen Yen, CSR out of Kimball Brownline. And
I'm sorry, real quick, Steve, hang on one second. We got someone with 0207 with their name. Who is that? 0207? Who are unmute yourself? 0207. I don't know. Should we leave this person on? I don't know who this is.
it's a spy.
Let's let the spy in because we're recording it. Welcome, spy. We love spies and stool pigeons. Okay, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, so I talked to the lawyer. We have a good chance of going against the unions, 308, 241, and the international, because they're not doing their job. But I don't want to get a judgment that they're not doing their job. I want justice as far as the healthcare trust. So I'm going to try and get him. He didn't sign on, did he? I told him to sign on, but anyways, I'm going to organize where he's going to come to one of our meetings. And this works for me. If you have a meeting at this time, is this because of is this the new time or just?
Yeah, this is just the time we have. We have different times.
Oh,
well, I'd say let's just keep it at this time unless anyone disagrees.
I don't disagree. This kind of works out for me.
Anyone is anyone not okay with 1:30 p.m.? Unmute yourself.
I like the 11.
Okay. All right.
But I could do 1:30 or 11. If I can't do it, I just won't be there then. Ain't no big thing.
Right. Okay. Well, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna try to get him on the next meeting, or we can have a meeting in his office too. It's a funny thing. He lives like 3 blocks from his office.
Well, maybe you can go to his office and then set up your phone, and then we can have him on the call.
Yeah, but I'd like a couple of people to be there too. It's kind of better sometimes when you're there, as opposed to webinar, especially when paperwork is involved, because you can't sign anything on the webinar.
So can you tell us, for those who don't know, okay, so there's the Retiree Healthcare Trust. You're talking about suing the union. This is allowed by law, but to sue.
Yeah, they're trying to say that.
Why are you suing why do you think we need to sue our union?
So they can do this. They can get it off the ground. We can't sue CTA.
Get what off the ground, Steve? For
them to bring down the healthcare trust to 0, not 1%, and then go up 10% later. Whatever their language is. Okay, bring it down to 0%, smash it, and that's the end of it. They have billions of dollars in there. My lawyer already checked. They're funded. They're very well funded. Okay, and it's just another level of corruption for them. Now we can't. If we go after the board, that's some powerful people in there. It's probably the governor, mayor, among other people, whoever they elected. So the union is the weakest link we should go after. They're trying to say, oh yeah, you should go to labor department. They're going to give you that spiel. Go through the labor department. Your union employee. But if he can prove that the union's not doing their job, which I don't think that's too hard. But after we prove that they're not doing their job, what's the next step? What do we have? What the union, because the union is in bed with CTA, so, and the healthcare trust, obviously. They let it happen.
Can I ask you a question, Steve?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, please ask. Go ahead. Someone wanted to ask Steve a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you muted? Someone muted yourself. Is that
I
Jan?
would like to ask a question. This is Janice Brown. I'm all for that because I'm a part-time person, been with the CTA for 8 years, paying into a trust that I'm not going to benefit from. So I would like to get all of my money back.
Right. We're all really not going to
Sign me
benefit from
up.
it because you have to be 65, and then also anything that they give you as what they so-called a benefit has to be used for medical coverage. So also they have, it's very outdated, their healthcare trust since 2011. So I think they have a new updated version, but according to Ken, our lawyer, they didn't update the new one. They're trying to hide something from us, obviously, because it hasn't been updated since 2011. So it's been a while, you know.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay, Eric, do you hear me? Would you mute this for a minute? Would you mute us?
Okay, we're gonna pause the
Yeah,
recording.
pause it. Yeah, pause it.
The healthcare trust is very, very clear. It states that all CTA employees must pay into this fund. Okay, so all.
Yeah.
But isn't that funny that the iron workers are not paying into this?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. He's trying to find out. Maybe because they have a powerful union. The craft unions, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why all these craft unions wait for us
You know,
to settle first.
as far as the craft unions go, their power is illusory because we're the powerful ones. So what they do is they sell us out. They save a lot of money for us, and that way they can tell the craft unions, here, I'll give you what you want. You know.
Yes. Eric summed it up good. Yeah, that's good, Eric.
Yeah.
So
let's go to the other Eric. Brother Eric Struck. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, thanks you guys.
Thank you.
Oh wait. All right, there we go. Yeah, so I'm sorry, man, I jumped in on this real late. All the talk about the financial malfeasance in the locals just reminds me of like Keith Hill and Woodrow Island's last turn at the trough. Woodrow Island was the sports activities director, the athletic director of the union, and he paid himself a yearly salary of I think it was about $42,000 on top of the amount of money that he was making in his position in the union. And then Keith, I think the number amount that he stole last time he was feeding at the trough, this is not counting his current administration, I think he stole about $400,000. And then the local was trusteed, and Javier Perez, who is VP of the International now, was selected by the International to be the trustee for Local 241. He cut a deal with Keith. He's like, Keith, you've been very bad, very, very bad. You have to pay back that money. And so Keith is like, well, how much money should I pay back, Javier? And Javier was like, you should pay back $3,500. You know, and Keith was like, oh, gee, I don't really have that kind of money. Can I just give you $1,500? Javier was like, sure, no problem. So that's how that went. But just real quick, I just want to update people on what's going on with my situation over here. And what's going on is I actually just got discharged by CTA on October 5th. They have a whole laundry list of reasons, none of which are actually accurate. I was injured. I got a disability now. I have traumatic arthritis in my right wrist. I was diagnosed with that at the beginning of April, and I was in sick book since March 15th. I applied for reasonable accommodation to the ARC, which is the Reasonable Accommodation Committee. I was turned down by the Reasonable Accommodation Committee, and then I appealed their verdict, and then they turned down my appeal. So CTA was trying to force me back onto the bus, despite the fact that I had given them ample proof and medical documentation of the fact that I could not work on as a bus operator without incurring, serious pain and irreparable damage to my wrist. So they decided on October 5th that I would be discharged. So we do have a good union rep at the garage. His name is Brian Boakier. He really does go around the block. He's overworked because we don't have enough union reps at these garages, but he is very overworked. But he did make time for me the other day, and I filed a grievance about my discharge, which I'm absolutely positive is going to be going in the circular file over at 241 Union headquarters. But that is not the end of the fight. So I'll keep you all updated. Thanks for your time.
Man, thanks, Eric. Did anyone have any comments or questions for Eric about what he?
I did. Oh,
Go ahead,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Nicole.
Eric, just to follow up with your grievance, don't allow it to go. Make sure, don't trust. I mean, even though this guy has went above and beyond for you, we appreciate everything you do, but we pay him to do that, so he's not going above. He's just doing his job. So the one thing that you want to make sure is your grievance is on file. So you want to make sure it's filed, because you don't want, the Hill to put it in his file and never get filed. So follow through with that. Make sure that it's filed, because as long as it's filed, you are a member of Local 241. And then follow up with them. Demand, where's your grievance at in the grievance process, and send them emails and making them notify you every time your grievance moves through the grievance process, so it's can somewhat be being processed correctly. Hold them accountable, but don't trust no one, because we have over 2,000 grievances. You don't want to get lost in that 2,000.
Yeah, sister, that's some really excellent advice. I think everybody who's worked for CTA knows what CTA stands for. It stands for can't trust anybody. So I'm definitely, I did get confirmation that he showed me the facts that he actually faxed through this, so I know that the office got it, and I'm going to stay on top of them.
You have to stay on here, demand to see it, because see, what I would do is, you didn't have to have him to file it for you. Could have filed it for yourself, and that way you would have knew. I trust none of them, and you should either. While he might be a good guy, he just very well be, and I'm not saying he's not, but what I'm saying for you, for what they did to you, they need to be held accountable, and you need to make sure that your stuff is filed correctly, because you don't want any little thing as, oh, you didn't file it in the right amount of time, oh, we never got it. So if I was you, I would go file it again myself, take it down there and have them stamp it and have it in your hand.
Okay. Well, he made Xerox copies of it for me, so I can do that. I can head down to the union.
Eric, again, they all are crooks. Xerox copy don't mean nothing. Okay, this is what you do. Email Toy Bowers and ask her, what is the status of your grievance? Because by now, if he filed it, it should be something on your grievance. Do not allow them to tell you anything. You can't trust them. Keith Hill is the president. He'll have him, don't file it. He don't like you because he don't like me. So that's why you have to stay on top of your own game. Don't believe anything they say. Like I said, while I'm not saying that the brother not a good brother, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, for you to stay up on top of your own thing, know for sure what's going on. Email Toy Bowers and ask her what's going on with your grievance, and tell her you want to be notified every time your grievance move through the grievance process. You won't be present for any meeting about your grievance, because you have those rights. You have certain rights as a member. And if you need anything, call me. I'll stand with you and help you go through this, because you can trust me. You can't trust them. But you need to know for sure. You need to know for sure that this is what's going on.
Yeah, I sure appreciate it. That's all excellent advice. I think maybe what I should do is, like you said, email Toy Bowers, and then also, in addition, show up in person at the office
and make sure you get a copy of it with the stamp on it to say that it was filed for your own reference. Not that he made copies of it, because it many times before they said they did something. We got 2,000 grievances on backhand. We don't want yours to be the 2001.
Right. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
It must be timely, Eric. It got to be timely. So you need to do that before the 5th of November.
Yeah. Remember the 5th of November for sure.
30 days. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. We also had
Eric. Eric.
Yeah.
I forgot to say that Eric Dixon, he told me, can you should help me with the rally, He told us to march in that rally. This was way before November 1st. So the
Yeah.
audacity, he told me that, and tell you guys too, he said, but not that we're going to do it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Hey, I'm on that stupid contract action control team committee, and I showed up at 95th all by myself with my son and wife for the noon session, because I said I couldn't be there early in the morning. I'd be asleep, and I was working while they had the afternoon, so I'd do one at noon. So he didn't do it. I was there by myself with my silly ATU t-shirt. These guys are so full of crap.
Oh, so he tells you to show up, and then when you show up, he's not even there.
Yeah, I volunteered at the committee meeting. I said, I'll do a midday meeting, a midday protest. I'll be there for that. And he never promoted it. They're so full of crap. I'm sick.
He's full of it.
So here's a picture on screen. Just wanted you to see, this is Eric with Eric in front of the Chicago Avenue garage. And Eric made these awesome signs, no arbitrary discharges. We have Vicki Johnson on the call. I don't think she's on right now, but there are so many local 241 and local 308 members who have been unjustly fired, and they're being screwed over by people simply because they do not obey and lick the boots of the union leadership, misleadership. That's really sad. And this is what we got to do, y'all. We just got to help each other. We got to stand up for each other. And I think this is a good note to end on, in that, it's very possible that this protest that we did at this day kind of delayed Eric getting his pink slip. Maybe it expedited it. Who knows? But the whole point of this picture is to show all of you that when two of us are working together to help each other fight, it inspires 200. And those 200 people will inspire 2,000. And those 2,000 will inspire 2 million. This is how we work, y'all. We're a union. Let's build, let's fight. Let's get together next meeting, November 7th. Bring someone, let everybody know about the Justice Coalition, vote no on the contract. If you show up on November 1st at the protest, bring signs saying what you believe in. Do not obey, do not submit to the union leadership. They are not your boss. We are the boss. Any last comments? And we'll wrap it up. We'll adjourn.
Well, I have something to say, guys.
Go ahead.
I bet you Keith Hill Facebook Live meeting been over. Here it is. We're still going. See how strong we are? That's just a little sad joke.
Okay, Nicole.
You're best, Nicole. All right, anybody? Okay, that's it. All right, everybody, meeting is adjourned.
All righty
Take
then.
care.
Have a good
That was
day.
good. That was good.
Goodbye.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good meeting.
Bye-bye.
Bye.